Hey guys, it's your girl Tubbi of the Nerdy Bird site, rocking with theantidote.com.
And I'm Marcel P Black.
Oh yes, we have an exclusive interview coming to you live thanks to theantidote.com. Get to sit down with the big bro, pick his brain a little bit. For those of you who are not aware of who Marcel is, please go do your research. Follow him on Bandcamp at Marcel P Black. Go check out the website, follow him on all social media outlets. He is paving the way. His resume speaks for itself. And you can also check out the previous interviews. Click and subscribe.
Right there.
Now, I know that you have a lot of stuff going on. New tour dates have come up. You have a lot of shows. You actually have been facilitating a lot where artists are actually going to be coming into the city more recently. So let's kind of touch bases on all of the things that are coming up in the world of Marcel P Black, the God MC.
Absolutely. So first things first thing that's coming up the most recent. First things first, the things that's coming up, the quickest. Fade to Flow Sundays, April 22nd at Uppercuts Barbershop. I got the God MC, Cesar Comanche coming off from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Very nice.
Like I said, we all been talking about Fonte just dropped the album. We all been talking about Knife Wonder and Rhapsody. Well, Cesar Comanche and Knife Wonder are the people who started the Justice League. So if we wouldn't have no Cesar Comanche, like we wouldn't have no Little Brother, we wouldn't have like a lot of these artists who've come from North Carolina, probably in the last maybe 15, 20 years or whatever. So he's very, very important to hip hop, and that's one of my mentors. So I'm bringing him out here April 22nd at Fade to Flow Sundays at Uppercuts. We already know.
It's there.
Free food. 7 to 11, I got other artists coming from North Carolina as well. I got my man Franny Flacco who's gonna hold it down for us locally as a headliner. I got I got a sister coming from Mississippi, and we've had a lot of good success with sisters from Mississippi.
They do their thing.
Shout out to Jackson, shout out to Hattiesburg or whatever. So it's gonna be a dope lineup, man. So I'm excited about that. And May 4th, I got Locksmith. I'm really pushing all the chips in on this, man. Locksmith. Bay Area master level MC, from battle rapping to, he blew up real big on Team Backpack. You go to Swear in the Morning, he's always killing stuff with Swear in the Morning.
Nice.
Traveling the country for us older hip hop heads. His first producer was Ant Banks, if you've missed the Too Short, you know what I'm saying? His first producer was Ant Banks, and he's
legit.
I can't even go down the list of his accomplishments, man. BET Hip Hop Awards, in the cyphers and actually on the show, whatever. Incredible MC, man. Like I did A3C with him back in 2013, and we linked up, and he came to New Orleans on tour last year, and we chopped it up. And he was like, he hit me up, he's like, man, I want to come to Baton Rouge on my next tour. So we've been kind of talking about this since like last, maybe November. Mm-hmm. And when the opportunity presented itself, went ahead and took it. So he's coming with a dude named Jay Lately, Stevie Boy Music, and Leon the God, who's actually from New Orleans.
Nice.
I got myself on the bill, as well as the Ill Relatives, and we got Fade to Flow alumni John Anthony on the bill, So I'm really excited about that, man. I got pre-sale tickets for that, online at iamlock.com and at physical pre-sales if anybody wants to get a pre-sale ticket for that or whatever. But I just think it's important that we come out and support, man. Like, and I'm gonna talk about this more, but if we want these caliber artists to come through the city, we gotta support when they pull up.
Right.
Coming right back after that, June 12th, at 524 Studios, which is a really, really cool spot for like independent, hip hop shows or whatever, or just any type of DIY shows or whatever. We got Blueprint coming from Columbus, Ohio on his tour. He about to drop an album and go on tour. This is a person who I reached out to, who I just wanted to work with, and he said, hey man, I'm coming on tour.
Nice.
Could you get something together for me? So, I got 2 Fade to Flow alumni on there besides myself. I got Sheehan, and I got Joe Scott, some of my favorite younger artists in the city, who I felt like, could complement his style,
diverse but still,
like Blueprint is, veteran MC, travel the world. If you're a super duper underground hip hop nerd like myself, he's worked with RJD2, worked with AC Alone, Superstition. He was on Rhyme Series, got a lot of stuff with A$AP Rock or whatever. And it's like, and I know a lot of times locally we might not know these names,
right,
but these people are international. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, when they come through the city, we got to make sure we show if we want our scene to be international, or even national, or at least get outside our region, we got to show up and shout when they pull up or whatever. So you can go to his website, printmatic.com.net rather, and get your pre-sale tickets, So just trying to do something, you know what I mean, on top of all the other things I'm doing. But I've really been focusing, like I made a special point this month to kind of fall back on the shows, so I can be more present in the city, so I can make sure I get the word out about these events.
Very nice. And I know as a facilitator, you've taken a lot of time to create these platforms where not only local artists, but like you said, regional, national, worldwide is what you're working for. Artists have the opportunity to come into the city and share their music and network and create other opportunities for local artists to kind of get out, branch out, and do their things as well. Very seldomly, because you're such a humble person, you know, even with the God MC line, just the work ethic and the passion behind what you do and how you do it speaks for itself. And I'm going to call you out on it because you never really take the time to kind of pat yourself on the back. But it's always a really big deal when you're looked at as an activist, as an artist, as a father, as a historian, and as a person that just understands that where culture is concerned, if you don't kick down doors, you don't get opportunities. So I want you to know that we appreciate you, because I don't think a lot of people realize a lot of things that you're doing here on the local scene to make a big difference. Prime example, the last Fade the Flow that we just had was an all-female lineup, and that's a really big deal, and a lot of those ladies really appreciated having the floor, having that energy, and also having the ability to say we're respected in our craft, and it has nothing to do with gender. And I think stuff like that is what sets you apart as an artist, because you pay attention to the things that other people aren't paying attention to. You make relevant things that other people don't find to be very important. And I think that is what's going to continue to push the brand, to push the music, to push the opportunities. And again, I appreciate you, and I know that a lot of other people do as well.
It's funny because like me and Joe was talking, like I could tell the whole story, but I know a lot of people like look at me like I'm crazy, like for a lot of the things that I say. Like it was an artist last night, you know what I'm saying, who about a year ago we might have had like a little misunderstanding, and you know our relationship wasn't tight as it once was or whatever.
Gotcha.
I saw him last night. He was like, we've already squashed it or whatever, but he was like, look man, I want to apologize again. He said, now that I've been on tour, everything you said was right. He said, everything you said makes sense now. Right. You know what I'm saying? He said, I thought you was just being some old grumpy old rapper. You know what I'm saying? But like, I've seen it, and the things I haven't seen, like the things that I haven't like necessarily experienced firsthand or whatever, I'm a nerd. I research. I go to these shows. Like I really engage in the culture, and I have for a long time or whatever. So I'm not saying I got all the answers, but for whatever, it's just like, and Joe can tell you this, man. I'm very, very intentional. So like, I rarely talk, and so people kind of do what other people do. So if you see one particular thing, you know what I'm saying, even if what everybody else is doing, it's kind of a groupthink type situation. Right. And so my thing has always been pushing back against that particular culture of groupthink. It's okay, well, everybody's kind of doing this one thing, nobody's really benefiting. Okay, boom. Let's kind of shift this culture. I'm gonna try to do my best to try to shift this culture to where, you know, we're all kind of moving and making progress. I think one thing that Fade the Flow has really brought to the city, one thing, is not rapping over vocals. Right. So now I'm going to all these shows. I went to a show last night. All these young dudes, you know, what you would call quote unquote panda rap. Nobody's rapping over vocals. And I was really, really impressed. I was really happy about that. And I do feel like that is, you know what I'm saying, something that, you know, a small part that I have via Fade the Flow have kind of pushed in the culture. So now it's like, oh man, it's a knock against you now. As at one point, it just kind of was what it was. So slowly but surely, I think the next thing is a lot of the younger dudes are kind of getting their business together. So they hit me up, man, I want to get my publishing together. I want to get my paperwork together. You know what I'm saying? We want to travel more. So it's things that, and it's things that I've been saying for a long, long time, and kind of just being the crazy man by itself. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I've never, I've always wanted to, when I first started out, like I was telling other people all the time, like, you know, I started out doing kind of just rapping the heart of the jig era, and there was no room for me, there was no space for me. You know what I'm saying? I, you know, never really conformed and did what I had to do or what have you. And I always told myself, when I had the platform and the resources, I would try to leave the doors open for other people. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's pretty much why I do what I do, because I just feel like I know I can't do it by myself. I know there are a lot of more intelligent, more talented people with a whole lot more potential than I ever had, you know what I'm saying, coming behind me. Very nice. So, and I'm straight. Like I'm blessed living my life, doing hip hop the way I want to do it, and being able to provide for my family by doing it. So, it doesn't hurt me to help somebody else out. Very nice. A lot of artists kind of get caught up in the realm of success, you know, and
they are perceived as that person that doesn't really want to put you on or give you the advice or the instruction that would make you better as a business person, as an artist. And I don't think too many people, if anybody, can look at you and say he's not willing to help or you can't talk to him in regards to good business, because I've literally seen you sit down with people you know, people that you've met for the first time, and you're open to say, oh, no, if you're trying to do this, you're trying to accomplish this, you need to be looking at it in this manner, and you need to be handling it like this.
Absolutely.
And I think that's important as OG in the music game, because you're creating a standard. Like you said, as simple as not rapping over your vocals anymore, because you have so many artists and Fade the Flow alumni that have come through your events, and they understand that this is something that's kind of looked down upon. You know, it kind of questions your talent.
I do it, you know, because it makes you a better artist.
Right.
Like you know, if you can get up there and rhyme, it sounds just as good as your record. It actually sometimes sounds better. I know for me, if you listen to my records or whatever, you know, I might do one particular vocal inflection. But hell, I grew up in the church, so the spirit might hit me, and I'm able to add more flavor to it.
Right.
Or if the beat drop, I'm able to kick a freestyle or do something different, whatever, and just add more flavor to it. So actually, you can actually improve on your sound and make yourself more entertaining or whatever if you're able to do all the fancy tricks you can do in the booth. Because you ain't rap over vocals in the booth.
You just have to put it out there.
You know what I mean? You spit it, right? So yeah, so I mean, and it's not so much to like, oh, you trash or whatever, but really, like, everything I do is designed. It's intended to make the artist better from an artistic standpoint, from an entrepreneurial standpoint, and then just loving the culture of hip-hop, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you love the culture of hip-hop, you take the culture seriously, regardless if you make panda rap, if you make conscious rap, you're gonna do right by the culture and do right by the other people. Like, I truly believe in the transformative power of hip-hop. Like, there hasn't been too many things, like maybe sports, that has taken, you know what I'm saying, so many young people of color from the hood, from the streets.
And showing them something different.
And giving them opportunities, you know what I'm saying, to not only make a lot of money, provide for their families. Like, you gotta look at the history of hip-hop, man. You had poor black and brown kids, you know what I'm saying, immigrants from Jamaica, from Puerto Rico, you know what I'm saying, descendants of enslaved people or what have you, who came together when there wasn't no music in the schools, and they created this culture with 4 elements that literally is one of the most powerful angels in the world. Yeah. So I truly believe in the transformative power of hip-hop from an artistic standpoint, from a socio-political standpoint, from a business standpoint, and how it can really change lives or whatever. So change and save lives, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's the reason why I take it so seriously. Like I know I be drunk outside Fade the Flow preaching, but I really mean it, because I know what it's done for me and I've seen what it's done for other people.
That influencer, and a lot of times when people take on the title as influencers, it's more so what's beneficial for them, what's going to continue to build their image and their brand. I personally haven't seen facilitators, artists, or anybody for that matter work as hard as you in bringing together outside communities into your own community and kind of doing that diversity, and it's a splash. I've seen hip-hop shows, courtesy of Fade the Flow, where you get the conscious rapper, you get the trap style rapper, you're able to vibe with the storyteller, you get the female MC that has no problem with telling you exactly spiritually how she feels and what she thinks, and then you have the female artist that's been drugged through the mud, and her side of the story is a little bit harder, it's a little bit harsher. I think it helps us grow as artists to be exposed to the differences in music, and that's what you're providing. And it's also something that you see in your music, you know, transitioning from into 7. I know that when we looked at Cry Freedom, and we actually did an interview on it, make sure you guys check it out, make sure you check out the project. When we looked at Cry Freedom, it gave you an opportunity to express as an artist on a political scale, on a real scale. This is how I feel, this is what I think, these are the things that I just don't want to continue to see happening, and this is what I'm not gonna stand for. And then we come into 7 and we still get this authority from you. We still get this perspective of this is not gonna change, this is who I am, this is what I think. But we also get a little more storytelling too. We get to vibe with you a little more and get the perspective that you hold as a father, as a husband, as a male to your female companions. And I think it's really cool that we get to see everything that is Marcel P Black, not only from a facilitator standpoint, but also in your music. Now I'm gonna ask. Okay. Next project, when we working on it?
Ooh. Well, I can tell you this. I was working on the EP. Been going out to Jackson a lot. I might have to scrap the EP.
Okay.
Reason being, like, I really like one producer projects. This isn't a one producer project, and it's kind of hard to get everything together.
Gotcha.
And like, this next album, It's probably not gonna come out till next year. I'm not gonna rush it. I'm really trying to create a classic. I feel like Cry Freedom was a classic, but it wasn't perfect. I'm trying to make a perfect hip hop album. Like, they say no gas. I already don't. The things I do artistically, nobody in Baton Rouge does them,
right?
Or they've never done them. And because of my resources and people who I know, I can do things that a lot of rappers can't do.
Right.
And they've never done. Like, there's never been underground conscious MC doing what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, from a facilitator standpoint, from an artistic standpoint, from a traveler standpoint, from, if you look at from the Complex to the Genius to Double XL, things of that nature, you know, Hip Hop DX. Not like for what I do as an artist from Baton Rouge, nobody's ever done it before.
Right.
So I'm always challenging myself to do something different. I consider myself a Baton Rouge MC, but I'm competing on behalf of Baton Rouge against the whole world.
Very nice.
So I mean, that's where I don't really, like, it's so many dope MCs in the city, and a lot of people like, why are you empowering your competition? Like, he's trying to do the same thing you are. Why would you help this guy out? Because I'm straight.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, like, whoever I'm dealing with, we're not doing the same thing. And even if we were, I'm gonna work harder anyways, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I had the skit on my Black Collar album, you know, with Will Smith talking about, you know, you might be prettier than me, might be more handsome than me, might be more sexy than me, but you're not gonna outwork me if I'm willing to die on this treadmill. So if we get on this treadmill, you might run fast, you might run farther, but I would die before I get off before you do.
I'm not about to let you take me out.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you might do whatever, you know what I'm saying? But like, so I'm confident in my skill set, I'm confident in my business acumen, I'm confident in my resume, and just my ability to work hard to where I don't fear no other rapper, I don't fear no other MC or whatever. So my whole mindset is different, man. As a traveling artist, man, like, I've been to these cities and I've been one of the best rappers in the building.
Right.
Me and Alfred go to these shows and we come from thousands of miles. So I understand exactly how that goes or whatever. And honestly, I really just want to keep creating music and something that's really going to stand the test of time in hip hop. Like, I want 20 years from now when people go back and be like, okay, summer 2016, what was the soundtrack to Baton Rouge? Cry Freedom.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? When we was going through political turmoil in 2017, who was the Baton Rouge artist actually speaking out what's going on? I Want It to Be 7 or whatever other projects, you know what I'm saying? So that's my mindset. And I'm talking about the entire pantheon of hip hop music. So I don't, you know, I love Baton Rouge. I want Baton Rouge to be to the top or whatever, but I understand that this is a small capital city in a world or your whole universe of hip hop or whatever. And so that's my mindset. So this next album, man, I'm really just starting it. I'm gonna tell you, I'm working with bigger artists I've ever worked before.
Very nice.
I'm working with new production, getting new sounds or whatever, getting new textures and things or whatever, and just really trying to push myself. Like, I want to be able to, like, when the way I talk about your Cesar Comanches or your Locksmiths or your Blueprints, people who have traveled the world and contributed so many great, beautiful things to the legacy of hip hop. I want Marcel P Black to be entered in that conversation.
Very nice.
So, you know, people talk about the Raws in the city, Six of the city. That's cool if that's on your aspirations or whatever.
Right, that's your
like, I
good
want to
point.
be, you know, seriously, like, as a writer, as an author, and then on top of as an artist, like I said, going back to the facilitator side, like, what did I do with the culture? What did I do with the culture? Like, it's a lot of things that I do artistically that, like, I don't try to sound like anything on the radio or any other rapper. Like, I really try to create art that's just, like, really timeless or whatever. Like, a lot of the production, and Joe might get mad at me, but a lot of the production on Cry Freedom at this point is like 10 years old.
Right.
Like, my favorite, I feel like the greatest song I ever did in my life, Stare and Whisper, we first recorded that summer 2008. Joe probably like, why you telling? You know what I'm saying? But for me, I feel like it was a timeless record. And it's gonna come out when it come out.
Right.
And it's not gonna sound dated. It's gonna sound fresh. And I can perform that song 10 years from now, and it's a difference between being dated and being timeless.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So taking your time trying to make classic material. So, you know, I'm getting older. Realistically, I understand that you know, I ain't young as I used to be. My knees getting bad. You know what I mean? I got a little bald spot popping up, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really going now or never, you know what I'm saying?
All in.
And, you know, I'm going all in with it, man. So a lot of these favors that have been owed to me, a lot of these resources that, you know what I'm saying, I need to get that back in on. I'm coming for it.
That's what's up. I'm looking forward to it because you're such a force already, and to have new perspective, to have new vision, to have new goal points where, you know, these are the things I'm looking to accomplish, but at the same time, I'm not cutting out that platform that I'm providing, I'm just putting it on hold for a second so that I can go eat and bring the feast back to the table.
You know, like a lot of the stuff I do is facilitated too. Of course, I have I guess my selfish reasons because it's fun.
Right.
I love it. Like I love, like, my favorite thing to do in this world is to go to hip hop concerts. And so I've never been a person to complain about what's not there. I've always been a person to create what's not there. That's the beauty of having, it's just like, it's a difference between living in Alabama than living in like New York City, right?
Right.
I can't build nothing in New York City. Cause it's already, you got the small landmass with these huge skyscrapers, and if I stretch my arm out, I'm gonna touch a building, right? You go to Alabama, man, you go get you 100 acres.
Then, but land,
you feel me? And so you got my room to create or whatever. So for me, I don't like the whole reason for Fade to Flow is I was going to these other shows in the city. It isn't just a nobody, but it was a bunch of rapping over vocals, wasn't nobody getting no money, wasn't nobody getting paid. Like, it was poorly ran or whatever. So, and you know what? I can complain about this type of situations or whatever, or I can just create my own. And so for me, I love Fade to Flow to death. It's definitely a labor of love, but like, it's something that I felt the city needed. Mm-hmm. It's something that is, okay, this is literally a way I can do hands-on education with a lot of these upcoming artists, right? You said some of these people doing 30-minute shows, they first set, they really should just be doing open mics, right? So boom, I got a situation to where it's a gladiator school. You come, and every single time you come through, you know what I'm saying, you a better artist, you're a better businessman when you leave or whatever. But at the end of the day, I've seen some of the dopest acts. Especially these young dudes, bro. People always talk about the pandas. You know, it was when I first, came up with the phrase panda rap or whatever. It was a pejorative term or whatever. It was, but for me now it's just the way I describe the younger artists, whatever. But they dope, they incredible. You know what I'm saying? From Michael Armstead to Joe Scott to Sheehan, these dudes 25 and under. You know what I'm saying? Incredible artists. You know what I'm saying? I saw a dude last night named Smooth Cat. Yep. This dude, Smooth Cat and the Knife. I can't remember the name of the band. Forgive me. He had a live band. Buddy brought out the guitar. 21 years old. Yep, he's rapping and singing while he's playing guitar. Yep. 21 years old, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I get a kick out of that type of stuff. I get excited, because I travel all across the country, and I know that Baton Rouge has a very specific and particular story to tell, and I want to tell our story to the world. So, I really get a high for seeing those type of things, man. So just like I enjoy going to the Quality show, I love going to a good underground hip hop show and just seeing the local talent and hearing the stories or whatever. So for me, I guess if there's a selfish reason or whatever, I just want to have a good time.
Yeah, right. It's easy to have a good time doing something that you love.
Absolutely.
And I think it's beautiful. We keep on talking about it, but I'm gonna put it out there for you guys who are not aware of who Marcel is. He is one of the most traveled artists in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge. He is one of the most well-networked artists. The man can go anywhere, cross any state line, and be respected like he's at home. Be, open arms, like, come on, Marcel, we need you. When you have that type of energy, when you have that type of resume, when that type of work ethic comes with you, I don't see anything but success in your front view, in your rear view. And for me, I respect you even more as a father because I see so much of the promotion when you look at your social media. Yeah, you promote your music, yes, you promote your events, but before all else, you promote the fact that you are an active father and that everything that you love about hip-hop, everything that is music, you turn around and you instill it in your kids. And I think that's so cool because a lot of parents just let the radio raise their kids.
Oh, no indeed. No, indeed.
They let the radio
I was listening to some song last night, I don't know who it was, bro, and it was a remake of Usher. Can I be your groupie, babe? And it's like, the verse is like, I'm trying to get up in the I'm like, so it's like they're not cursing or saying it on the radio, but it's not even innuendo no more. Right. You know what I'm saying?
They're taking the
fantasy. And so we listen to Brother Ali in my car. we listen, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to all the artists who are getting older, who got kids, who are making dope hip hop albums without all that profanity. Yeah. And I ain't saying you gotta be clean like Will Smith, but
and all that explicitness.
We got I got the dad ears, you know what I'm saying? So I'm able to find some things that I can vibe to with the kids or whatever. But I'm blessed, man. Like what was it? Where was I at? We was somewhere. We was somewhere getting dinner or whatever. And I call them my freestyle dad raps, and my kids hate them.
They look like they're enjoying the
I'm rapping along with the song then.
Okay.
But like, sometimes I bust a freestyle rap and they don't like it or whatever. But for the first time, me and my wife was joking about who's gonna pay for the meal or whatever. And I killed like a 24 bar verse about how mommy's gonna pay the bill. And when I finished, my daughter clapped. And she gave me a hug. And that was the first time she's 7 years old. In 7 years, the first time.
That's your hardest critic, huh?
Yeah, oh, bro, she shows me no love, bro. She shows me no love. My son would kind of vibe with me a little bit. He'd be like, all right, whatever, Dad. My daughter, she'd be like,
I don't hear it.
Let's get it over with. Yeah, so for the first time, my baby applauded. She like clapped and gave me a hug. She thought it was funny or whatever. But yeah, man, like I love my babies, man. I'm glad I'm their father. Like it's made me a better man. And honestly, it puts up for what I do as a, like this year, like last year I was going a lot. Right. And I told myself this year I'm gonna be smart in what I do because my babies are at the age and I just love being with them every day. Like I set my whole day up from getting them up for school to picking them up. That's how my whole day is ran around.
Right.
And I missed a whole lot of them growing up last year because I was on the road. I was chasing after them 17 states. Thank God I was able to do that because it gave me the reputation of being a touring artist. Like people knew me in the region, but like going outside the region or whatever. So now I have this reputation and I can go back to a lot of these places without going through a cosign, or a lot of these people saw what I did last year and they're offering me to come through. Like last year, for instance, I could not get a show in the Midwest by myself for nothing. I tried so many times. By the time I did Illinois and Missouri was state 16 to 17. You know what I'm saying? And I only did that because I went on tour with Alfred Banks or whatever. This year, I got like maybe 6 or 7 shows in the Midwest.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? In like 4 or 5 different states. You know what I'm saying? And so, but it was last year, the things I learned last year, you know what I'm saying, just kind of gaining a reputation for being a legitimate touring artist. Man, people don't understand, like, you know, shit is sweet here in Baton Rouge, where we have communities that, you know, we know each other or whatever. People have no idea how difficult it is leaving Baton Rouge because Baton Rouge doesn't necessarily have a reputation for hip-hop, whatever. So, you know, I don't do club shit, I don't do jig or whatever, and I'm not knocking that, but that's not what I do. That's what I've never done. I do underground, pro-black ass, F Donald Trump hip-hop, you know what I'm saying? And so, people don't expect that coming from Baton Rouge, so they hear Baton Rouge, the first thing they think is gonna be a young boy, Boosie, Webbie Gates, things of that nature, whatever. So, you have these particular, and then like for a conscious rapper, underground rapper, I don't necessarily do a lot of boom bap.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I try to push myself sonically as well as you know, I do trap, I do country rap tunes with it, and so I don't fit in anybody's box for whatever side. You know what I'm saying? The street dudes say I'm too preachy, and the conscious dudes say I'm too street or whatever. Right? You know what I'm saying? The hip hop dudes say I'm too southern or whatever. So it's always a challenge or whatever. And so you got to go ahead and earn your keep. You got to go ahead and get to it. You got to prove that you are worthy of investing your time, your money, your plane tickets, your whole whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so it's definitely been a challenge. And it's maybe a better artist, maybe a better man, maybe a better entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like, I know that if I'm gonna be gone, me and my wife, I have the most supportive. Let me say this real quick. Please I have the most supportive wife in the world. Like, I don't do nothing without her blessing. I don't do nothing without it. I be trying to like break down numbers and show a number. Man, just go on about your business.
Just go do what you
You know what I'm saying? So she is behind me 3,000,000% or whatever, and I could not do it without her support. There's days if I'm gotta go, because normally I pick the kids up and take them to school. Baby, look, these 2 days I'm gonna be in North Dakota. I need you to do this. Boom, boom, boom. She has no problem doing that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and shout out to my brother Daryl. If she can't get the kids from school, he'll get the kids from school or whatever. So I definitely have a small village that's helping me, you know what I'm saying, with the kids or whatever. But I mean, so I gotta say this, man. I proudly wear my wedding ring. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my wife. Yeah. There's none of this would be possible. I remember when I was unemployed, you know what I'm saying? I was employed when I bought these plane tickets to Denver. Okay. I was unemployed by the time I was supposed to go to Denver. I tried to get the money back on the plane tickets. They wouldn't let me get the money back or whatever. So it's like if I don't go, I'm throwing like $400 on the drain. You know what I'm saying? I was unemployed. She had just had my son or whatever, so she wasn't working. Literally, bro. I took the food stamp card. You know what I'm saying? I ain't ashamed to say this at all. I took the food stamp card, you know what I mean? Louisiana Purchase do work in Colorado.
Other states.
You know what I'm saying? I bought mad snacks. You know what I'm saying? And I went out there and got that money in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? My wife was behind me the whole time, calling me every single day. Whatever, my pops put some money in my account too, whatever. So without the support from my family, I would not be able to do this, man. You know what I'm saying? My pops was a traveling artist as well as a gospel musician. So he understands how things go or whatever. And, you know, I don't do too much. You know, he don't like all my language. But I don't do too much to embarrass him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So they definitely support what I do. So so I just got to say that, man. Like,
Shout out to wifey. Like,
shout out to the family. Like I do this. And I do this. You know, I don't really. You know, I'm friends with. I'm cool with a lot of people, but my team is very, very small. Joe is like one of the few people I lean on every single day to get done. But for the most part, I do everything myself. Right. But if I'd have had a foundation at home with my wife, my children, my parents, I wouldn't be able to do it. And that's just the real. That's just the real about the situation. Like everybody talk about you need a team. Like I have my internal squad that helps me keep going.
And I think that's the difference too. A lot of artists find that as they're getting things off the ground, they deal with a lot of drama, or they deal with a lot of situations where they're almost flabbergasted, like, I can't believe you do that. And it's because these are people that, you know, you screen and you think they're good people, but you don't know these people. So I think it's really cool when you have a long-term friend and you have your rib cage, your wife at your side, and no matter what it is, because she has faith in you and you have faith that the work that you're doing is not done without purpose, it kind of grows you as an artist and even motivates you in certain senses.
Absolutely.
Knowing that, you know, she'll sacrifice anything to make sure that you're able to accomplish and do the things that you want. It makes you want to turn around and give her all the things that she desires, and I feel like that in itself builds black love. It builds the correct.
I mean, she done bossed up with me. Like, you know, she started a Queen Me 31 company about a year and a half ago where she makes these custom clothing. You know what I'm saying?
So
from she can do like traditional wedding dresses to, you know, I ain't gonna lie, we came up during when Black Panther came out. Everybody want to go to Wakanda. So she made mad like African print skirts and whatever, you know what I'm saying, and you know, just custom stuff.
Now, hold on. I'm gonna cut you off. I gotta say this. Now I saw y'all pictures. She customized y'all attire, the family, like everybody was laid.
Absolutely,
absolutely.
Daughter,
she was fresh. I was like,
but like she done bossed up. She done started the LLC on your boy. I said, oh. You know what I'm saying? You nice for what? What you doing? You know what I'm saying? So like let me get my business acumen back up. You know what I'm saying? She saw I put the publishing company in my kid's name, so she went and got her stuff, got a little LLC, like got the sticker and everything. And what was my music room? She got a whole closet. She got a cutter. Nice. You know what I'm saying? So she bossing up or whatever, and so it's inspiring me. You know what I'm saying? Bringing bread back in, and you know, just the way she uses her creativity. She does clothes or whatever. She braids hair. She does crafts. So you know, she does sing, but her artistic endeavors are different than mine. Artistic. Right. She likes working with her hands or whatever. So it's making me more creative, and I'm seeing how she's branding herself and things of that nature. And she's doing fashion shows. She's sending clothes out to Dubai and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That is so wonderful.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my wife, you know, Jessica Williams, Queen Me 31. You feel me?
Follow, support black.
Follow, support. Business. You know what I'm saying? But so all that to say, like, it's definitely like I look at what I do as an artist and a facilitator. I mean, if you could say it's my ministry, if it's a form of activism. My whole goal is to teach young people of color, you know what I'm saying, ways to, you know what I'm saying, empower themselves, create opportunity themselves as business people. Because this is my thing. I think a lot of people rap about things that they don't do, or things that are negative, because that's the way the industry is designed or whatever.
That's what
the industry is trying to sell you this poison or whatever. So I think a lot of people think that's the only way to make money. And so this is my thing. If I could teach you a way to get you some money and you could be yourself, and I don't really be telling people what to talk about, because when I first started as a conscious rapper, everybody said you gonna waste your time, don't do it or whatever. Thank God I didn't listen or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But if I could tell this young person, look, bro, you already got everything within you that you need to succeed. You have a compelling story. Tell that story, and they can find out a way to boss up and get them some money behind it. You know what I'm saying? Boom. And empower other people. Like, that's the beautiful thing about Fade to Flow is we meet other different people or whatever. So we ain't going through no middleman. We ain't going through no, hey, I need production. Okay, you produce. Hey, I need videographer. I'm gonna holler at you. Hey, I need a blog. I need a website. I need whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we can all use each other. We can all build this thing without being exploited. We can all circulate this dollar. And if it's bartering, circulate these talents to where somebody who's not from the culture can come in and exploit us. And, you know, it colonizes to take it out and not give nothing back to it or whatever. Right. So I think that's one of the beautiful things that I really tried to implement with Fade to Flow, is create this culture of, you know what I'm saying, we're actually building off of each other or whatever, and expanding slowly but surely. Like, we got Fade to Flow alumni. You know, I'm from Oklahoma. I brought a guy from Oklahoma to Baton Rouge. Since then, coming this after next week, he will have brought 5 Fade to Flow alumni to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Very
Niggas
nice.
wouldn't worry about going to no damn Oklahoma.
And nobody.
Oklahoma is one of the best underground hip hop scenes in the city, right? But now you got Fade the Flow alumni going to Florida, going to Birmingham, going to Memphis, going to Dallas, going to, you know what I'm saying, going all over the country, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's what it's all about. You have a lot of people from out of town who've come to Fade the Flow, and they've started their own version, not necessarily at barbershops, but you got Cypher Sundays in Pensacola. I want to say my people in Memphis are doing something. My people from Mississippi said they want to bring something back or whatever. In Birmingham, they started, you know, the Monastery told you, they started the joint at the basement or whatever. So it's like, but they bug bit them. And so it's a beautiful thing to watch it spread or whatever. And if we keep doing this and keep empowering ourselves, we can really be the people that decide what goes on within the culture. We can take the power out of the music industry's hands that's really only here to like really, you know, I always say like the music industry is like first cousin with the private prison industry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if we can take the power at the hands of the power ourselves, we can do what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? And so I look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely content-wise, it's definitely my ministry. But just even as a facilitator, that's another part of what I'm trying to accomplish whenever I do things.
It's just such a beautiful thing. And you guys, we could talk for hours. We really could.
You gotta stop me.
No, I don't want to stop you. That's the problem. I need the producer to be waving in the background, like, wrap it up. And he usually doesn't. He kind of just lets us do our thing. But it's just always such a pleasure to be able to pick your brain and to be able to see the growth and to understand the wisdom that you're not only obtaining, but that you are like, you just give it away. You freely give it away. You have the ability to create seminars and charge people for the knowledge that you have, but the purity in your person and just the goodness in your spirit.
People fuss at me for not charging for it.
And I can understand that.
When people fuss at me, you need to write a book. But man, I just, whatever. I just love it so much.
That's what I said.
I just like, it's just, I try to be grumpy. I try to pull back from doing it. But like, I just love it. I just, you know.
There's a difference.
And this thing about it too. It's like, if for as much as I talk about it, there's only been a few people to peep game.
Right.
And actually follow through with it, right? So maybe, I don't know. So maybe if I put some value behind it, if I put it in the book, or maybe charge for a consultation session, they'll take it a little bit more seriously.
Right.
Like, people have to understand, like, music aside, like, if you look at the way people move, there's a difference between, like I always say this, the joke. People who make money do what people who make money do.
Right.
People who don't. So there's nobody who has the ability to make money say, nah, I'm not doing that shit, right? You get what I'm saying?
No, I do. It's no way to create the ability.
Right.
When I'm surrounded by people that are broke, I don't have any initiative to not be broke. It's just what it is. When I'm surrounded by people that are making money, it pushes me to want to do the same thing. I don't want to be the broke person in the situation around all the ballers. You know, I no longer fit in.
But just the mindset of like, it's just a shift in the mindset of doing things that work or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So some people took heed to it, some people don't take heed to it, whatever. Maybe I gotta talk some more, I don't know, maybe it's other ways I could be more effective as a, cause you know, I come from teachers, so maybe as an educator, I don't know. But at the end of the day, man, I love it, and you give me a chance to run my mouth, I will.
Well, I love it. You already know, any opportunity to sit down with you, being able, again, to pick your brain and learn things that I wasn't open to or didn't realize that I should be receptive to. It makes me better as a journalist. It makes me better as an artist. It actually makes me better as a person. So again, we do appreciate you because I get the dynamics from the female perspective. You know, not very often do I get to sit down and really pick the brain of the other gender and actually gain something from it. Not saying that my brothers aren't smart, because you guys are. It's just always a difference in perspective. And I think that you're well rooted enough in your artistry, in your person, in your spirituality to understand that gender doesn't matter. Human beings should go about things like this, should understand things like this, should be open to things like this.
For Slay the Flow, you did excellent. Like, if you weren't able to do that, I'd be very upset.
Well,
you were the only person I wanted to do it. You contributed so much to our community. And like, you were the only person I wanted to do it. A lot of people asked me who had never been to Fade the Flow. I want to no, you ain't put this time in. You done put more time in than most of these rappers out here. So thank you for what you did. Like, everybody's been. Somebody told me, I was like, Marcel, you did more for feminism. Don't give me credit for none of that shit. Like, I should have been doing it more. Like, I'm really gonna try to, make sure I involve sisters in hip hop not even from a performance standpoint. I definitely want to get with you and other people about planning it more.
Of course.
To making sure it's more of a, you know what I'm saying, it's more of a friendly space, you know what I'm saying, that we can all enjoy. And not, you know, the energy was good. Don't get it twisted, like the divinity of black womanism was in the building for sure. But at the same time, y'all up the talent.
Yeah. It was
like so we talk about this rap. Let's take away, you know, let's put aside the black womanism magic for a second.
Right.
Like all the sisters, y'all did y'all thing. Like rapper to rapper, y'all out rap most of the dudes who was there.
They were
so I have several incentives, you know, on top of, you know, people been praising me. I don't want the praise for that, man. It's something that I took too long doing. You know what I'm saying? Thank you to all the sisters that was on the bill. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a good night. So I want to say thank you.
No problem at all.
For joining the community and all the contributions that you've made.
Well, I appreciate that.
We're better because of it.
Well, I greatly appreciate that. I tell Joe all the time, when I started my site, it wasn't long after I started it that he kind of approached me about doing some collab work. And when he found out how long I had actually been running my site, he was actually like, wait, time out. What? Like, it's been that short of a time? And it's because I had prayed on it for a little while, and I was just like, okay, I know that there's something great I'm supposed to be doing. I've worked with kids. I've done the music thing. I grew up in the church, too. I'm like, where am I supposed to be putting my focus right now? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? And I woke up one day, and I don't remember if I had a discussion with Legend or not, but I remember telling him, I said, I don't know what exactly I'm supposed to be doing, but at this point, I'm supposed to be helping people. And the next thing I knew, I just did it. I started a blog, and I started getting to know all these people and networking and truly understanding who they are as people, and it made me appreciate who they are as artists. So I will continue to push as long as the passion, the work ethic, and, you know, the spiritual energy is there.
Absolutely.
I don't mind at all. I appreciate theantidote.com for always thinking about me when it is a big event or it's something that I haven't been able to grasp on my own over at the Nerdy Bird site. So it's always a pleasure to vibe with you guys. Shout out to Real Profit Entertainment.
Hey.
Shout out to all of our sponsors that make it possible for us to do the things that we're doing. And again, shout out to Bill Life. I could do that all day long. My boy, I love this shirt. No frenemies. Like, you see how I'm hanging with Big Homie? We don't just hang with nobody, you know what I'm saying? So again, you guys, Marcel P Black, he has a lot of stuff going on. Check out the upcoming showcases. Make sure you stay tuned in to show the out-of-state talents that he's working hard to bring in all the love that they deserve, you guys. Make sure you support. We can't say it enough. You can't expect to be successful if you're not willing to support people, because that's how you gain support. Tune in again to theantidote.com. This segment isn't exclusive. Marcel P Black. Follow him on all social media. Follow me at @_TUBBI for all of the updates in our city, in our state, and the surrounding areas. It's your girl Tubbi coming to you live. You guys have a good one.
Peace.